Okay, everybody, we're going to get into some lighting now. This is our beautiful model. Her name is Renee. Say hi, Renee.
Hi.
And we're going to start off, like I said earlier, we're going to start off with some funky lighting and some of the more obscure lighting techniques, and also explain some of the setups, fundamental setups, and I'm going to get into that right now before I get into our first lighting technique. Right here we have a hair light. This is my favorite hair light. It's a small 7-inch reflector, and it's angled about 2 to 3 feet behind the subject, so it's skimming off the top of the head. It's anywhere from a stop under the main light or the same as the main light, and occasionally a little stronger depending on the color of the hair. Renee has lighter hair, so the hair light will probably be about 8 1/3, 8 1/2, because my main light exposure is going to be f11. That's my working favorite aperture in the studio. So because she has lighter hair and it'll reflect more light from the hair light, we're going to go to smaller output. So that's the main light, so the hair light. So we're not going to get into that anymore. That's pretty much going to be in all these shots. Over here is a kicker light. It's just very, very soft. I always like to create a little bit of a kicker light just to add a little bit of dimension. It's going to come along this side, skim along the shadow side of Renee for most of the lighting that we're going to be using, because the main light is going to be on this side. It comes on the opposite side. You can put it on the same side as the main light. There are differences, different preferences depending what you like. They both work. It's just the way I set it up, and it works really well for me. So you can see right behind me, this is a piece of muslin stretched on wood, and it's my fill light. It's a big giant reflector, and I actually picked this up at no charge from our local theater group. It was as part of a play, and I just hinged the two together, and I use it throughout the studio all the time. I use it as a backdrop. I use it as a fold-away door and a movable reflector board. So that's the fill light that we're going to be using for all the pictures that I'm going to go through today and all the lighting scenarios. And I'm going to demonstrate exactly that, more so with the soft boxes later. And there's some cool stuff we're going to do with that. If you don't have any lights, maybe just one light, I can show you how to imitate a studio lighting scenario using that. We'll get to that towards the end. So for now, we're just going to start with what's called glamour lighting. It's just a bare bulb. It's about 2 feet in front of Renee, and it's coming down almost straight down. And you can play with different angles. You can bring it in much higher. But for now, we're going to go with a very high angle, about 2 feet in front of her. And very important that we use a reflector. So I'm going to use this small gold reflector. And of course, you can make your own. We always like to show our own homemade jobbers. Buckstore reflector, I call this one. It's just foam, not foam core, but not cardboard. What's that stuff called? You know, Corplast. Thank you very much. Stuff's dirt cheap. I bought this wrapping paper at the Buckstore. Paid $1 a pack for it. I got some silver. I got some gold. You can tell it's well used, well loved. Used this for many, 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 many years. Just glued it on, and you can use something like this as well. But since I've done a few more portrait sales and I made a little more money, I went out and splurged and bought a good reflector from the camera store. So the important thing to do here is to bring this in nice and close. We want to be able to reflect the light back into her eyes so that we have these really nice catch lights coming up from the bottom. And you always have to verify. This is very, very important. Verify from where the subject is. You have to go from where her eyes are, look down at the reflector, and look for the actual reflection coming down from the light source. So I'm going to turn this light off so it's not too distracting, because that's just a video light right now. And let's turn this light off. Can you still pick that up? All right.
Right there.
There's the light source coming down from our main light, and it's going to be bouncing right back into Renee's face. Okay? Very, very simple lighting. It's called glamour lighting. I'm just going to do one quick shot right now. Just turn your head a little bit. Good. And lean in just a little bit, Renee. Cool. A little more. A little more, a little more. Chin down just a bit. Good. Bare bulb lighting is not a lighting that's used very often in most portrait situations. If you look for your shadows with the bare bulb type of lighting, you can see
Look under the nose, under the chin, and you can see that the lighting is creating very strong shadows, and they're coming straight down. They're angled straight down, right below the nose and right below the chin. It's especially important to look at the eyes. Watch your catch lights. They are so important to good portraits. You can see here that the catch lights are being reflected up from the reflector. This type of look, again, is used very often in fashion and glamour. It looks especially nice in black and white portraits.